Well, we're going to take a look here at the situation involving political and social instability with the issues that we raised in the last segment. Historically, and we're just going to look at history now, not making projections. First of all, the people get really, really upset and we start to see aberrant behavior. We're already seeing it. I've talked about this before. The road rage incidences are off the charts. People are angry. And their anger is manifesting when they get behind a wheel, but it's manifesting too in rising domestic abuse situations. The murder rate's down, but the other rates of violence are up. There's tremendous political pressure. Uh, Politicians will double their security mantra because they're going to feel like, well, the people are mad enough, they might take it out on me. Then there'll be huge protest movements and things like toss them all will seem tame like that. If you don't know what that is, and I've talked about this almost every day, we need to get rid of every single Republican minus Comer and Massey. The rest of them in the House need to be gone. 94% of them take APAC donations, it's unethical and it's immoral. It should be illegal. We elect them to represent American interests, not to represent the interest of a foreign nation. And of course, if Israel's attacked, then we come to their defense. They're an ally. But it doesn't mean they dictate our national defense policy to the expense of our economy. By the way, I've mentioned this before. The Israelis get free health care and free college. Do you? If they had to put their own money into their defense, which they don't, yeah, imagine what we could have here. Um, Presidential approval ratings go down. Well, we've already seen that. Trump is in the toilet. I'm going to talk about why that may not matter to him, but we'll do that in the next segment. High energy costs are psychologically powerful because customers see the end of their life as they know it. And so they get really upset. And they're reminded of it every time they go to the gas pump. And that's assuming you can continue to get gas because it takes gas to deliver gas. It takes diesel to deliver gas and diesel. If those prices become unsustainable and it's not moving, your car will be a relic sitting in your garage. Now, the government can do strategic reserve releases. They already are, but how much will the defense allow that to go on before they say we need it for the war effort or just national defense? Be prepared if someone attacks us. So this is not an ever-ending spigot that's going to keep going to save you from this bad decision to be in a war. Price controls will come in. Oh, and this is the beginning of socialism. And usually, when socialism takes hold, it's a rare event when a country escapes it. Scary. Then you're going to start to see the government doing what they're doing now. They're broke. They need to extract more money from you, even though two-thirds of you can't make a $500 car repair bill. And we're starting to see it already, right? They're increasing taxes. They want to tax the appreciation on your house at 40% and do it retroactively. This is not new, folks. We started talking about this when Janet Yellen was transitioned into the Secretary Treasurer for the Federal Reserve Chief. They'll make emergency economic measures. They'll ration you, in other words. Rationing is coming. Now, you're not old enough to know what went on in World War II unless you took a really good history class with a history teacher that understood what they were teaching. But they limited on what days you could buy meat, how much you could buy, when you could buy shoes, what quality would they be. You were rationed on almost everything. That's right. People saved their gas to get to work. They carpooled. They took the bus. Those days are coming back. If prices remain elevated for many months, and they are, we're in that stage right now, recession is a certainty. That means loss of jobs. And right now, we're so close to economic collapse, I believe that could happen. Demand destruction occurs. People don't have money to buy anything. So the economy collapses because we're a consumer oil-based economy. Car sales shift towards hybrids and EVs, and that's for the people that can afford them. Public transportation increases, but it takes fuel to run those as well. Businesses relocate closer to supply chains. Remote work expands even further. Then we have people who are already in trouble going into following trouble, more excessive debt. Fragile supply chains will cause critical shortages in food and medicine. Inflationary pressures will just destroy what you used to pay for something. You notice when you're going into restaurants now, many of them continue to put out new menus. You go, oh, new menu again? It's because the prices are going up. Weak consumer savings, banking stress. And this is why I talk to you about Dodd-Frank. This is why I talk to you about making sure that your money in retirement is not fully associated with the bank because it could be gone. Good case scenario, you get bailed in, you get a percentage of what you own. Bad case, they take the whole thing like they did in 1929. People say this is kind of funny. Do you know they could take everything? Oh, they wouldn't do that. Who was your history teacher when you learned about the Depression? Were you absent on that day, or should that teacher be fired? Because they've already done it. And they did it in the silver crisis of 1890s. It's the greenbacks. I could go on and on and on. The government has done this before and they'll continue to do it. Who are they going to support? The banks? Well, wait a minute. We don't have to even answer this question. Dodd-Frank 2010. You're an unsecured creditor with any asset associated with the bank, and they have first priority over what they do. And you have no legal recourse. Now, if you start pulling massive wads out of the bank, hello, we're from the IRS. We're investigating suspicious activity reports on your account. And are you structuring? That means avoiding the $10,000 limit. Yeah, you got to be careful how you do it. And you almost have to do it digitally. That way they can track it. You should talk to your bank and say, Mr. Bank Vice President, this is what I'm doing with my money, and here's why. Now, if you're saying I'm saving for the rainy day, well, he'll call the Fed because the bank doesn't want to lose your money. For every 10,000 you take out, they can loan out 90,000. It's called fractional reserve banking. You might want to look into it. No, you don't get to do that. They do. Just like insider trading. You don't get to do that, but Congress does. They make the laws that apply to us, but exempt themselves from that. And people like Nancy Pelosi have made $750 million on that practice. I'm telling you this digression story because do you think they're going to help you? They don't give a darn about you. They show it through their actions. They take money from China. They take money from Israel. They take money from whatever will throw Congress money for their reelection campaign so they can live the life of Riley, as the saying goes. You are in last place, and they don't even pay you lip service until it comes to campaign time. This is why I say toss them all. We need to send a message. We need to have term limits. We'll talk about solutions in more detail in a later piece, but this is what you can expect long term. Are you ready to act? People say, do I need gold? Yes. Silver, if you can get it. Crypto, absolutely. It's going to explode in value. This is why they're wealthy through MicroStrategies and JP Morgan have really kept the price down on crypto so they could buy up as much of the 21 million available as they want to. But there's still some available to you at a low price. It's a good deal. Oh, you want to know more? Just go to mydigitalmoney.com. That's mydigitalmoney.com. This is why I pick these sponsors, because I can see that we're in the time where this is going to be needed. And oh, by the way, if you think the dollar could fail, you're right. What will replace it? Digital. What's digital? Crypto. How do we know? Stable coin, the big, beautiful bill. Remember? Okay, so that's why I say mydigitalmoney.com. Position yourself now. And should you do Ironhawk Financial, if you've got any substantial money and you've parked it in the bank, well, Dave, I'm getting good rate on the CD. They can still keep it. You need to look at what's it recession proof, and all you have to do is go to dhawk.com. This is why, again, we choose the sponsors we do. And do I practice what I preach? You're darn right I do. I'm going to take a hit if this goes down like I think it might, but I won't have a catastrophic hit like my ancestors on my mom's side of the family when they lost massive wealth in the Depression. You have a choice. You can act now, or you can let someone act in your behalf, and it won't be in your best interest. I'm Dave Hodges. This is the Common Sense Show. We will see you back here again next time. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you guys. You're a cut above the rest because you care enough to come here.